My name is Sheila Behnad. I'm a manager of family therapies. And obviously, English is my second language, and my biggest phobia is public speaking in English.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pune Azadi, and I'm a marriage and family therapy intern.
My name is Dr. Mariam Hafizi, and I am a clinical psychologist. I do health psychology. Predominantly what I work in is terminal and chronic illness. I mostly work with cancer patients and their families. I myself am a 2-time cancer survivor, so that's why I do what I do.
I'm a neuropsychologist. I work in Good Samaritan Hospital. I have taught at different universities, and I have come face to face with life-threatening challenges in my own personal.
So my shame and my anxiety is not a secret anymore. You all know about this. Okay? And I'm not silent anymore. I'm telling you that how anxious I am, and I try not to judgment my anxiety. So I'll talk about these 3 later.
Anxiety is so fascinating to me. It's like the Facebook version of all the other diagnoses. You know how on Facebook we have a picture, and it depends on the picture and your status. You kind of can predict who's going to like it, who's going to make a comment, who's going to do what. It's the same thing. With anxiety, there are certain patterns. And when the client comes to my office, without even getting to the background, when she represents a certain thought process or certain symptoms in her body, I kind of know she's anxious. I kind of know about the background.
When gets a diagnosis, how they react to it, right? So you can react to it and start bawling and crying, which is perfectly fine. And some people are just stern about it, and they come in and I call it deer in headlights, and they haven't really processed it. And some people will come in and they'll be laughing. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this is awesome, this is what I want to study. So I went and studied it.
Is anxiety is not good or bad. Anxiety is an expected human response to life. It's nothing more than just an emotion. So if you have felt anxiety today, yesterday, and I can guarantee you will feel it tomorrow, congratulations, you're human.
Anxiety is the fear-based state of mind. What does that mean? It means that when we are anxious, we're afraid. We are never anxious about something that has happened in the past. We're always anxious about what might happen in the future. So when we are anxious, we're living in future.
What's the problem with numbing our emotions? We cannot selectively numb emotions. When we numb our negative emotions, we numb our positive emotions too. That's what's the problem with medication. When you have antidepressant, I usually hear from people, they say, I feel numb. They are not depressed, they are not anxious, but they are not happy too. Even they say, I don't feel the taste of my food. I'm not happy much, because they numb their emotion, which is okay for a short time, but that's not the solution.
A lot of times, 2 plus 2 is 1,000. What does that mean? It means that when we are anxious, we start reading minds, we start fortune telling, we start jumping to conclusions, because we really, really cannot contain ourselves and cannot stay with here and present and here and now. So that's what will happen.
Okay, so stress and the immune function. So one of the things is my background is behavioral neuroscience, and so stress affects the immune function, and how might it do so? It's huge. So just like Punajin was talking about, when you get that tunnel vision, imagine if you're, again, God forbid, you're in a car accident, right? The minute that happens, you get tunnel vision. Everything slows down. You can't see past that vision, right? And then your heart starts beating really fast. Does that make sense? And your body starts shaking. Your fingers start getting perspiring, right? So all of that are the effects of stress on your immune system.
If you are in quicksand, how can you get out of quicksand? Do you know what's the best way?
Don't move.
Don't move. If you move, you go deeper.
Yeah.
So the harder we try, the more we create bad feelings. If you try to fight back with your anxiety, the anxiety again comes back stronger.
Is there anyone here right now who's not anxious? What's wrong with you? You know, there is a phenomenon in the Persian community, it's called tariq anxiety. Okay? So when we have a party going on for a month, we worry about, is it going to come out perfect? And not realizing what impact that has on our brain and our body. Those things accumulate over time, and it actually changed the structure of your brain. Little things like that add up and shrink our brain and impact our memory. So next time you have tariq anxiety, I want you to remember Nazi and Nazi here and say, I'm so grateful that I'm feeding my guests. I'm so grateful that I have friends in my life who come through our house. I'm so grateful that I have food to eat. Very simple.
Because anxiety and depression are best cousins, and they usually don't go there anywhere without each other, so most of the time they follow each other. So a lot of what I'm talking about you also see in depressed mind. So if you've heard it somewhere else, or if you've read about it, it's the same concept.
That worry is interest you pay on a loan you never borrowed. I want you to introduce yourself not by talking, but by laughing. So something like
What are we laughing at?
어디 있으면 안 터진 거 같아요.